Where do you go when your religion crumbles and your whole world turns upside down?
What do you do when your beliefs fail you?
How do you learn to trust God again?
Join us as we pick up the shattered pieces man-made religion left behind by taking up our cross and following Jesus.
Hello, welcome back to the Born Again Bakers podcast. I am Audrianna, and this is my beautiful co-host, Hannah.
Hi.
We took a long break, so welcome to season 2, and we feel renewed and refreshed and ready to jump in, sort of renewed and refreshed. Neither one of us took very much of a break, but we took a break from here.
This is going to be a really fun season. I feel like we have a little bit under our belt, and we're going to be able to just dive in, and we have a whole list of topics that we want to talk about this year, so it'll be fun.
So how was your Christmas?
It was great. I can't really complain. We stayed home. We usually leave town to go be with family, and this year we kind of put our foot down and we're like, let's just enjoy our own home. That was really nice. Then the week after Christmas, we had friends come for a whole week, which was super fun, super exhausting. And then like a day later, my parents came for like a whole week. So it was back to back. And then the day after my parents left, my husband had to go all the way to the UK for a work trip. So these last 3 weeks, my voice, you can probably hear it in my voice, I have been so tired and worn down. It was not really a break, but it was fun. And so I don't have any regrets. It was lots of good memories made. How about you guys?
Ours was exhausting and we were sick the whole time. Yeah.
That's the worst.
I did get my gingerbread house made. Maybe I'll figure out how to insert pictures or I'll just post them on Instagram.
It was gorgeous.
It was smaller, which was perfect because actually it took a lot less time. So that was fun. And
wait, that was less time? Because you texted me for like a week about this gingerbread house. That's crazy because that felt like a lot of effort to me.
Well, it was a lot of effort for sure. No, we like made all the gingerbread on a Saturday and then we didn't put them together until Wednesday. So it was kind of separated out. And then I constructed and decorated the gingerbread house all in one day. So.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No. But yeah, we were sick. Like, I got sick twice in the last month, and both of them took my body a whole lot longer than it should have to get over, and everybody in my house got sick, and it was just like it ran through us one at a time. So yeah, it was not a break, really. It was kind of miserable, to be honest. But praise the Lord, we're all healthy, and we're ready to tackle the new year.
At least we didn't have to worry about the podcast for a few weeks. It was kind of a needed reset.
Yeah, I think so, too. And we're coming back with lots of new ideas and a lot of motivation.
If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, we're open to them. We don't have specific orders. We have like series we'd like to do. But if there's anything specific, we're happy to take a look at it.
Yes, absolutely. Leave us comments, send us DMs. We would love to do what you guys want us to do.
Okay, so what's our topic for today then?
All right, today we are jumping in with shocking in the new year goals.
Totally shocking. No one ever does this. This is brand new information for everyone.
So we are going to talk all about goals. We want to talk about goals as they pertain to the Bible, and then we'll also jump into like our own personal goals and our podcast goals, all the things. So Hannah can kick us off.
Okay, I found just a few Bible verses that I loved about goals because the Lord wants us to continue to improve ourselves, right? That's not what is saving you. That's separate from grace. But grace and sanctification are completely intertwined and they can be hard to distinguish. They are separate though. The Lord wants you to continue to improve. So I found just a few that I really loved. Of course, a lot of them are in Proverbs because the Proverbs are wisdom literature. For our Mormon listeners who aren't maybe super familiar with the Proverbs, it's wisdom literature, right? It's a good, wise thing to do. It doesn't always apply in every way, but it's like a general rule of thumb to follow in life. So Proverbs 16:3 says, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. And then Proverbs 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. So that would include goals. In my study Bible, it actually says at the bottom that to make straight a person's paths means to make the course of the person's life one that continually progresses toward a goal. Now here, the emphasis is on the moral quality of someone's life path, but it can still apply to setting goals for your own personal life.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, wait, will you tell me those verses again so I can write them down?
Yeah,
Just
we
the
have
references.
Proverbs 16:3 and Proverbs 3:5 and 6.
Okay, thank you.
And then the last one was in Colossians. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men." So when you're setting goals, you want to make sure that it is in alignment with what the Lord wants for you. We're not creating goals that would be out of God's will for your life or that are not biblical, if that makes sense.
Which is very motivating because, at least for one of mine, is like I just want to turn all the little things into worship and make everything about praising God, which is always the goal, but sometimes we forget that. So that's like my main focus, is doing it all for God.
Yeah, I think when we start doing things as goals to please other people, that's when we're out of alignment with the Lord. So we should be doing everything to please the Lord. And it says if you are setting these goals, He will make straight your paths, as in if it's a little bit off course, but you're trying to set a goal in the right direction, the Lord will set you straight.
Oh, I love that. He makes it all fit together, work
Yeah.
the right way. All right, do you want to go first or should I?
Sure, let's go over the 7 categories that we came up with, which is goals as a Christian, goals as a wife, as a mother, as a homeschool mother, health goals, homemaker goals, which is separate from homeschooling goals and wife goals, and then our podcast goals.
I added one. I just put business because that's also one I have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so for Christian, we're wanting to do things just to like improve our walk with God. So some of mine, I didn't add all of them. I tend to do very long lists of goals, and then I do too many. So I tried to minimize it and keep it as small as possible so that I can actually do it. All right, so I want to finish reading the Old Testament. I started it in May or June, and then got off track. Also, it's really old. Like, it can be harder to read old. It's really long. I meant to say it's long.
It is also really old.
Fair, yes. But it's been harder for me to actually get through, like, reading it. Like, I want to read it like a novel, and it's just harder. I have to take it in doses. And especially because I'm in the historical ones right now. So it's
yeah, some of them can be hard to get through.
Because it's like reading history. So yes, that's one goal. And then I would like to get baptized, just kind of waiting on the process at church. And then I want to establish a consistent, like, daily morning Bible study ritual. That's not the right word, but like I really, really want that to be consistent for me. And then my last one would be to worship God through art.
Nothing about my artistic skills is worshiping God. So I love that for you.
No, I was listening to a podcast talking about, they were talking about setting goals and the parable of the talents. And obviously, it's not actually speaking about talents, like our actual skills, but it totally can work that way. Like, if God gave me a talent and I'm just not even like working on it at all, or if he gave me something that is like a passion, I should work on that and I should enjoy it and do it for him. So I really actually love to paint, and I'm going to do that more often. What are yours?
They're really similar. So consistent daily Bible study. I think that's a struggle for pretty much everybody. Life gets in the way. You get tired. Something happens. One of the kids wakes you up before, or they wake up early when you finally sit down. All the things. So just something consistent that I can do. Even if it's just pulling out my phone and reading for a few minutes before I get out of bed. Sometimes that is what I can do in the morning. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be rigid about it because then it becomes legalistic, and I really want to stick away from that. We grew up as Mormons where you had to read your Book of Mormon every day. It was almost, in my mind, a sin not to, and I would feel guilty, so I would read out of obligation. more than out of my heart. So when I do miss a day, which I'm usually in the Bible at least a little bit every day, but if I do miss a day, I try not to be legalistic about it because of the way we grew up. And that wasn't God's intention. His intention isn't for us to do it because we feel like we're going to be in trouble. The intention is to have the heart and the desire to do it. So that's my goal. And then I want to read more at night and watch less TV. We got into this really bad habit of sitting down and watching a show together in bed at night when our kids are asleep. It's just kind of something fun to bond over. It's mind numbing after a long day. And it actually is completely interrupting sleep. Obviously, I would fall asleep way earlier if I had a book in my hand instead of a screen in front of me.
That's fair. We also have that habit, except we did not put a TV in our room in this house, and I'm so glad because we have to actually like get up and go to bed.
Yeah, see, that's smart. We have not hung the TV up in our house. Our house in Idaho, the TV mount was already in the wall when we moved in, and that's a massive thing to clear out of a wall and patch. So we just put the TV there. And in this house, there is no mount, and I specifically didn't put one up because I know I want to get rid of it at some point. I'm kind of just waiting for this really cheapy TV that we have in there to just die, and then we'll not replace it.
I tried to do TV free, and my kids are too little. I have to like have one thing. And with homeschooling, I just have to be able to be like, no, okay, this is your time. Don't touch me.
100%. And sometimes I'll send my kids onto my bed to watch a show together, or if I'm tired or whatever, or if they're arguing over which movie they're going to watch. It's nice to have that second TV.
Yeah, it's true.
So there are benefits. I'm trying to get out of the habit. Then I started the NLT version of the Bible, reading it cover to cover, maybe 2 years ago at this point, and I'm not done, and I would like to finish that this year. I'm in Isaiah. That's not my only thing that I've been reading over the last 2 years, but it's been one. I've just been wanting to read a different version of the Bible, cover to cover. I did the ESV. I did that one chronologically, though, not cover to cover. So this is the first time I've ever just gone from Genesis to Revelation, and I want to do it through the NLT, and then my reward will be a new Bible, like a new version.
That's a good idea.
So I've been like really wanting to do it so I can have the excuse of spending the money on another Bible. Not that I don't buy Bibles, but I just feel extra special because I earned it.
That's what I'm going to do. When I finish the Old Testament, I'm buying a new Bible.
Yeah.
Because I need another one, like I need a hole in my head. But
Yeah. You can never have too many Bibles in your house.
it's true.
I actually really like thrifting a good Bible from the thrift store. They're really cheap and they're really pretty. And some of them are like brand new, which is sad. And they deserve to have been read over the last 100 years.
I think I need to move to the Bible Belt because all we have at mine is Book of Mormons.
No, I have a really old one on my bookshelf. It was a wedding Bible, and I just think it's really pretty, and it was in really good condition. And then I really just want to know Christianity well enough that I can understand when something is false. Because my kids will hear things and be like, I know that's not right. I don't think that's right, but I don't know why. And they have that analogy that they always say, the man who studies counterfeit money. Everyone knows this analogy, right? How do you know when you see a counterfeit? And he says, I study the real thing, so I know when there's a counterfeit. That's kind of my goal. I want to get to the point where I know it well enough. I know all of the theology really well. I know all of the doctrine really well that I can spot false teachings quickly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. One of my next Bibles, ESV has one called the Systemic Theology one. And so it's like exactly what I've been looking for is systematic. I said systematic theology study Bible of ESV. That just,
Yeah.
I feel like that would be
There's a
really
book called Systematic Theology that's really great. I have the condensed version, like the readable version called Bible Doctrine, which is also really great. So recommend if you don't have an actual Bible for it. Those are basically my Christian goals. And then obviously just spreading the gospel and doing it more unapologetically.
All right. As a wife, I would like to pray for my husband more. I think sometimes I will go through a list of people and he tends to be the last.
So true.
Unintentionally. But yeah, I just want to specifically pray a lot more for him, and I just want to have more of a servant's heart towards him because he endlessly serves me and then I don't do that to him. So I think as moms, we get tapped out because we're serving people all day long. And so then sometimes our husband ends up kind of getting the short end of the stick. And I don't want to do that anymore. And then final one for being a wife is I want to do at least a monthly date night. We don't do babysitters a lot. It's like a whole thing to get a babysitter, and it's expensive. So yeah, I just want to do a monthly date night. I'm not going to go as far as doing weekly because that seems like a lot, but also we're really happy just to hang out with each other at home. That doesn't bother us, but I just want to do one date night out of the house.
Honestly, 99% of the time, I don't want to go out. I just want to hang out at home, and it feels like a date night. We'll like order takeout or something and then watch a movie, and it feels like a date.
It's true.
I want to be more soft-spoken, not just as a wife, just in general. I tend to sound harsher than I mean to sound. And so sometimes my sweet husband will be like, you said that really mean. I'm like, I didn't mean it mean, and he knows that now. But of course, for many years, you say things and it cuts them. And I'm like, I don't understand why you're offended. Oh, because I said it like a total jerk, and I didn't know I was sounding like a total jerk. I'm kind of like just a really blunt person. Yeah. So I want to be more soft-spoken. I love the women who are just like really gentle. I think of like Michelle Duggar. She always sounds so soft-spoken. And I mean, I don't know her in real life, but that's like the idea. I don't think God created me to be that soft-spoken.
I don't think so.
But it's a goal.
Hey, I mean, there's one that says a gentle tone turns away wrath or something.
Yes.
I've been staring at it for weeks actually when I do my dishes. So you'd think I would have the reference and the exact wording, but
I
do
repeat
not.
that something similar to one of my children constantly. So you'd think that I would have picked up on it by now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to speak more life over my husband and more gratitude. I didn't realize for the longest time as a wife how much they just need to hear that you're so grateful for them and that they're enough and that they are providing enough and doing enough and are doing a good job. I think it's really easy to forget that and to nitpick or be ungrateful or always want to, have the next best thing. I want a bigger car. I want a nicer house, whatever it is. And husbands, a lot of the times hear, I'm not providing what you need to make you happy, which is, of course, never my intention. And so I'm trying to be more intentional with, thank you so much for going to work today. And thank you so much for being such a good dad. And thank you for providing all that we have. And then when I do say things like, oh, I'd love to have this, I make it a point to be like, I'm not saying that you need to provide that for me. I'm just saying that would be fun to have someday as like a dream goal. So I think that is something that I am working on, is just being more intentional, making sure that he knows how grateful I am and that he's doing a great job as a provider.
That's a good one. A very good. I'm adding that one to my list. All right. Motherhood.
No.
For me, another one is to pray over my kids more, but not like I pray for them all the time, but I want to pray for them. I want them to be able to hear me pray.
I love that.
Feel like a lot of times I pray by myself and I want to demonstrate it for my kids more. So that's my goal. I'm one of those people that has like praying stage fright. A lot of that is like the Mormon upbringing. I grew up in a very strict home as far as how we prayed. And so praying out loud in front of people, like I don't even hardly pray in front of my husband out loud. And he's seen me birth 5 babies. So it's like, I have to really practice that. And it feels easier to pray in front of my kids right now than in front of my husband. So starting small, and I'm just going to try to pray out loud in front of at least one of my kids every day. And then I'm going to try to do it. This sounds really low, like this sounds like bare minimum, but it's just the consistency that I'm trying to build up. So I'm trying to do 10 minutes of like quality alone time with each kid every day, which I have 5 kids, so that's 50 minutes. Like that's a decent amount of time. And that obviously isn't enough for every kid, but we're not like doing it alone all day.
Yeah.
We have to build up the consistency, and we're together all the time, so they're all getting quality time. I'm trying to keep that one, my motherhood goals, really minimal so that I can focus on those ones really hard.
I love that you minimized. I did not, so I probably need to go in and do that. Those are great goals. The only one I can say I'm consistent with is my youngest. We got in the habit somehow of praying together before bed. We take turns each night. And I literally just hold her. She like puts her cheek on my cheek when she like rests on me and puts her arms around me, and I pray over her, and it's literally the sweetest thing ever. She loves it. And if I forget, she's like, "Mommy, you didn't pray with me." And so I need to just be better about doing that with each of my kids as I put them to bed, I think. I want to be slow to anger, which I've come a long way, I think, as a Christian mother, learning how to control my emotions. But that I also just want to be more present for my kids. So maybe I'll make that my goal, just like 10 dedicated minutes. They just need that like one-on-one. We do a lot of bedtime routine that way. Each one of them wants me to like lay in their bed and we chat for a little bit. But I know they would love it if I just like played a board game or read a book with one child instead of all of them.
All right, homeschool. I also had to keep this one minimal because my homeschool goals are far excessive. I just want to be more consistent. Especially when I'm sick, it goes to the wayside. And I want to be better at just literally doing it every day. Sounds pretty bad, but I want to actually sit down and have a good routine in place and do it every day. And then the last one is just to get my kids in extracurriculars. We've done them before. This last year we kind of took it off because I was just not up for it. Like I was too sick and didn't have the energy. And I was like, no, if I don't even have the energy to do basic schoolwork, I can't leave the house with all of you guys and run everywhere. So the goal is to get everybody in something in the next few months. So that's my homeschool goals.
I love it. You should just find something that they can all do at the same time. Some of my kids they've all done it together, like ninja class. And it's nothing like crazy, but they love it. And then I only have to go there once a week instead of multiple times.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've done that in seasons and it works well. That would probably be my advice there. But also homeschool consistency. When you have babies, it's just really hard. You're really at the mercy of your babies. Mm-hmm. So I really couldn't be 100% consistent with like a perfect routine. I mean, no one's ever perfect routine, but you know what I mean? Until I had babies that weren't just like in all the things all day.
I know. And I have to like temper myself and be like, there's seasons for everything. You only want one more baby. They'll learn everything in time.
Yeah, they really learn so much. People don't realize how much they learn through osmosis and real life.
Yeah.
And then that's why countries like, I think it's Finland, where they don't even start formal education until 8. And places like Russia, where they don't pick children for Olympics. This is what I've heard. I have not verified these facts until they're about 12, because those are the ages where you can catch up really quickly. You could finish everything you needed to know from kindergarten to high school in just a couple of years if you did it with an older child.
Yeah, it's true. So I have to like temper my own mindset where I'm like, it's okay if we're not fully consistent, but even if all we do is go and sit in the homeschool room and do one little task, even if it's literally just reading the Bible, I just want to start putting that in place.
Yeah.
And we're going to, be gentle.
Read alouds. Read alouds are probably the most important thing you could do at that age anyway. Daily consistency is always on mine because we do school every day, but every day looks a little bit different. When we're not all waking up in the right times, like sometimes one child wants to sleep in, and if they randomly sleep in, I usually let them because that tells me that their body is tired and needs it. And then just be more joyful in my teaching. I always just want to be more joyful. It's really easy to grow impatient when they're your own kids. I would not grow that impatient with someone else's child if I was teaching them. And that's kind of like a convicting thing to think. Like I would never get that annoyed with someone else's child. So I need to not do that with my own child.
I'm adding that one to mine. That's like a little one just to keep in the back of my mind, is just to be happier about it.
Right.
And make it praise to God. Like, I'm so grateful that we live in a place where we can so easily homeschool our kids and that I actually get to have them here. Like, I get to make that choice, and it is a choice, and I want to love it. That's a very good mindset.
Yeah. It's really great. We try to start our homeschool day with a prayer. And I usually will say in there, thank you that we have this chance to all be together and get to homeschool. It's a gift.
It is. Okay. Is that all of your homeschool ones?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Health. I really could have gone on this one. No. My one big goal, but like my health is hard because so much of it is not really in my control at this point. But my number one is to get off of the immunosuppressant that I'm on. I never really wanted to get on it. It was so helpful right at first, and then stopped working, and getting off of it is hard because if I were to just like go cold turkey, everything would get worse than it was when I started, and it was very bad. We have to like work slowly to get off of it, and it's kind of miserable, and I'm trying to remain joyful in the process of getting off of it, and I think that's like the main focus. That's my goal, is to, like, to find more joy even though I'm pretty freaking miserable. And
That's a hard
then
one. That's a hard one.
that is a hard one. And then my last one is just that I want to start working out 3 times a week. I keep it minimal. It might only be 15 minutes a day, but it's something, and I just need to strengthen everything after having so many babies. So
Yeah, those are good. I need daily sunshine. It's really easy for me to get caught up in housework and then realize at the end of the day, like, I don't think I really actually spent time in the sun. I'm always in a better mood if I get sunshine. I specifically picked a spot where I could get vitamin D year round outdoors because Idaho is really difficult that way. You cannot get vitamin D from being outside for a lot of the year there, and that takes a toll on your mental health. So, daily sunshine. And then daily walks. My husband and I usually at night will go on a walk. Our neighborhood is just like a big oval. And so we'll just go around the oval and then weave in and out of all the streets and with the dog before we go to bed instead of watching TV. That was a great habit we had until it got cold. And then back to the television at night it went because it was like 15 degrees outside and windy and it didn't sound fun. So he said that, like, one of the last things he said to me before he left for the UK was, when we get home, we're starting our daily walks again because we both just missed it. We just like chat about our day. We don't have our phones, and then we sleep so much better. So anyway, and then back to gym consistency. When we were in Idaho, I was going to the gym 3 days a week. It's like a weightlifting gym for women. I loved it. I love weightlifting. And then we moved, and I have a gym here in our neighborhood, and it got really hard to be consistent with it. However, one of my children is now doing tennis there twice a week, and that's an hour. So that is now, I love attaching a, what do they call it? Attaching a...
habit stacking.
Yes, habit stacking. Thank you. That was not in my brain. I love habit stacking because I have to take her to tennis 2 times a week, which means I am there and I can either sit down on the couch and watch, or I can just get my butt upstairs and go to the gym. So I'm back to at least 2 times a week weightlifting, and I'd love to get a third one in there if I can figure out how to make my schedule work.
I love that for you. Actually, I do need to get better at habit stacking too. Working out's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to be consistent. Once you get in the habit, though, you start to love it.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's starting anything is hard.
You just get really sore again, and then once you're in the habit, you feel good instead of just miserable all the time.
Yeah. I found there's a channel that's like Christian Pilates, and like it's on YouTube, so you can do it. That's what I'm gonna try, is doing Christian-based Pilates, because I don't like when videos get like really woo-woo and like all new agey, but I can.
Or
I
when
can
they're
get down
dressed
with
in like nothing.
Yes, exactly.
I
All right.
love that.
Homemaking. This is where my big ones come.
Never ending
Because none of them are big or hard already. No. All right, I'm going to declutter my entire house.
I'm so excited for you.
I should fly you in.
I would have so much fun.
No, really though, if you want to.
If you get me started on decluttering, you guys, I will be up on my soapbox for like 3 days, just
So let's
singing the
hear it,
praises
Hannah.
of decluttering. Sometimes people will give me gifts and they're like, "Don't throw this away, okay?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll try."
Can't promise.
If we don't use it, it's going in the trash.
Yeah, whereas I am kind of a hoarder, and my husband is also a hoarder. So we just have a hard time getting rid of stuff. And I know for a fact that all the stuff in my house is making my life a million times harder than it needs to be. So I'm going to take one day, I'm going to pick one little thing. And I'm going little because I have to do things in little bites. And so I'm like, okay, here's a drawer that I'm going to declutter and organize. And that's it for now.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do some bigger jobs where like I really want to go through the toys, like so bad, and then our clothes. I need your opinion on this one though. I want one more baby, but I want to get rid of all of like the hand-me-down clothes that we have. So I'm like, do I just be like, all right, well, God will provide all the clothes, or do I keep it?
That's a hard one. If you have the
Because
space,
it's wise to keep it.
I would go through it and pare it way down.
That's fair.
When I was pregnant with what I knew would be our last, I saved both boys and girls stuff, and then when I found out it was a girl, I donated all of the boy stuff to someone who was having a baby. And so there's always clothing going around. If you look in like mom groups, there's always something. But also if you have the space, then I would say pare it way down. Babies need more, but kids do not need more than a week's worth of clothing. That actually just forces you to do laundry, and then you can't pile up the laundry. Let's do a whole episode on this. Let's do a whole episode on this.
Can we do it next week so that I
Yes.
can get into this?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited. These are some of my favorite topics.
Okay, we're doing it. Next week,
Okay.
decluttering. All right. So then my next one is just creating systems. So like once I've decluttered everything, I'm going to build on that and I'm going to try to create very simple functional systems in every aspect. So that's also a big one. And then kind of in that is like meal planning. I want to get really strict with our budget. We spend way too much money on food, and mostly because of poor planning. And so we're going to hammer down on that, and I'm going to meal plan, hopefully. I'll probably end up meal planning more like, what's her name? Farmhouse on Boone, where she doesn't really have like an actual plan, but she pulls out the meat and works around that. That I can do. And then I want to get the whole family together. This is less about homemaking and more just like a full family goal is I want to do family worship time. At least once a week. That's all my homemaking goals.
Those are great goals. I have letting go. I swing way far the other direction where my home can quickly become my idol, where I'm upset if it's not very clean and very organized and very put together. It stresses me out. I have a lot of anxiety around clutter and stuff. And so I need to learn also to just like let go. Sometimes I actually will just take a picture of the space and it makes me feel better because I'm short too, like you, and everything feels more cluttered. And then I get up to my husband's 6'3" or 4" height and I'm like, oh, it doesn't, like, no wonder you're not stressed. It doesn't feel cluttered way up in the sky, but it does way down here on the ground. So sometimes just literally taking a photo of the area and I'm like, okay, I'm being a little dramatic. It's not that bad.
No, it was like I showed her on Marco Polo, I showed her my kitchen and it was absolutely trashed. Like you could not see the counters. And she's like, let me show you mine. Her whole island is practically clear.
And I was like, I swear it looks worse in real life than it does in this moment.
Like it does not, Hannah.
It felt like a lot, okay?
Oh, I know. It feels like a lot. It's just not.
Oh, I love it. No, my rule is if it cannot be cleaned up in 15 minutes, like the house for guests, I don't mean spotless. I mean good enough for guests to walk into my main living areas. I have too
No,
much stuff.
she means spotless. Her standard of spotless is very different.
We're gonna do a whole episode though because it became an idol in my life for a really long time, and so my homemaking goals be letting go of the space. I want to be better about eating through what we have before buying more, because I'm really like a staple person. I buy a lot of ingredient staples, and then I don't necessarily plan exactly what we're gonna eat. I just like pull from it. But I always buy too much and forget what I have in the back of the freezer or whatever. So that's actually becoming my month goal for the next month, is to just eat what we have through the freezer and the pantry as much as we can and just buying the fresh produce that we absolutely need. Because we have plenty of meat, we have plenty of staples. We just might need to add like a veggie or something here and there.
That is, yeah, that's part of mine is like, I really just want to be able to go to the store for produce.
Yeah. Well, groceries are so
like a
expensive.
Costco
It's
month.
easy to just like buy random things.
Yeah, it is. I signed up for grocery delivery to hopefully
It's going to change your life.
help with this.
Honestly, though, shopping online, and even if you do pickup or delivery, it really helps your budget. I did that for a lot of years, many years ago before inflation, and before I had a lot of children who eat more than I do. I had $100 a week that I would spend outside of like the bulk food we would buy from Azure, that we would pull from. And so that I wouldn't count because I was only buying that every couple months and spending $200 or $300. And so I would spend $100 a week, and it's really easy to do that when you can see your list and see how it's adding up.
Yeah.
I'm not a math person. Like, I'm fine at math, but my brain doesn't work in that every time I put something in the cart, I'm adding it all up. My husband's does. If you ask him how much we're about to spend before we get up to the register, he can tell you within scary accuracy what we're about to spend. And I'm like, I don't know, $300-$400.
I'm usually $100 off every single time.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and that's because you just randomly purchased that new outfit or whatever at Costco. All my clothing comes from Costco at this point, so.
Hey.
Not
Costco
this, actually. I'm doing pretty good.
Amazon. Huh? Amazon.
Yep, my pants are from Amazon, 100%. My socks are from Costco. I did order this. My tank top underneath, though, Costco.
Love it.
And then just being content. I really want to just learn to be content. I always have things I want to do to my house. Like little projects to upgrade or like things I need to paint. We actually do need to paint some things. But learning to be content instead of being like, I would love to do this giant upgrade that would cost us $1,000. And learning to just be grateful for the beautiful home that I have. So, and then learning how to DIY it so that when I do have big ideas, I can do it myself and then not drag my husband into it, who absolutely hates my DIY projects.
I am so thrilled to go along with you on that. It's going to be very fun.
I'm
just going to live
terrified.
vicariously through you because we're renters and can't do anything. So I'll just.
I don't know if I'll ever actually get that far because I already know if I pick up a power tool, my husband's ears, even from the UK, I'm sure he's like, what did you say? Are you putting a hole in something? I'll be right there. Don't touch.
That's so funny. See, you guys are a lot. We're very similar, but then we're also completely different because
Like two
Spencer and
type
I are
A's and two
so
type B's.
B. Yes. Yeah.
It's so
It'll-
true.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll just balance each other out.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Is that everything for homemaking?
That's it. Sorry, I'm long-winded this evening.
No, you're fine. You're good. We love long-winded. Also, we're only at 40 minutes. We haven't even reached an hour.
It's actually pretty good for us.
It is. All right. So for podcasting, this is what I put down. We actually did not talk to each other about this, so we'll see
Oh, yeah.
we'll see how aligned we are on this. Okay. So I put down consistent posting.
Yep.
I did
But my
not
first thing said word for word.
And then I did, this one feels a little hard to say out loud. I would like 10,000 podcast subscribers by the end of the year
Okay.
and 10,000 followers on each platform.
I would love that, sure. I was more vague. I put just growing the numbers and staying bold because it can be really daunting when we post something we know is going to be controversial. And Audrianna always picks my face for these little shorts on Instagram.
You say the better things.
No, you say great things and then you're like, no, I don't like mine, but I like yours. And then I click in to log in and check stuff and I'm like, oh, it's my face again. They're really mean in the comments sometimes.
Yeah, they can be for sure.
But it's okay. I'm learning to let it roll. It doesn't bother me anymore. Some of it's hilarious to me at this point. My husband and I'll read them while we're driving and we just are cracking up and making jokes about it. So we're getting there. But just remaining bold. I don't want to let that stop us from saying what needs to be said.
Yeah. I should write that one down, actually.
It's really hard when you're getting attacked. But you know what? It's actually, we have learned to dig deeper for answers that we never even really thought about the questions to. People will comment, and it's something I've never heard of. And then it forces us to dig deep and figure out the why behind something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really good catalyst for growth, I think.
Yeah.
All right, then in my business, Consistent posting. And I mean, really, I just want to get all families milling their own flour.
Yes.
And I'm going to start writing a book
I
because I
love
need to
that.
add another thing to my list.
Yeah, 100%. Always.
Yeah,
I mean, shoot for the stars. Why not?
exactly.
I would love to have, my goal is to have a grain mill in every Christian church for people to use. I think
Oh, I
every church
love
needs
that.
one because not everyone can have one. Not everyone has the space or the resources. But if every church, maybe some of the bigger churches would need more than one, but like my church isn't that big, it would be such a gift. People could come in and mill what they need for the week or the month or whatever. I think that would be so cool.
It really would be incredible. That's such a good goal.
We have a local grocery store here that's like an indoor farmers market year round, basically. It's like a lot of local vendors. And they just opened a second location and they put a grain mill in there. They sell the wheat berries and then they put the grain mill in their store for people to use who are buying their wheat berries. And I am telling everybody about it. I have so many people who reach out to me about wheat berries. That just reminded me that I forgot to text somebody. But anyway, and I'm always just like, hey, you should go to this store because they have one and that is such a gift to the community.
That really is incredible. I need to find some place here. I have a second grain mill. I should just donate it.
Yeah, that would be really cool actually. Find
Just have
someone
to
who could
find.
like really use it. And
Yeah,
then
I don't
like
have it in my
teach
plate.
classes on how to use it and then teach a man how to fish so he can continue to teach other people. I think it would be such a cool goal because it's such an easy way to nourish people.
Okay, do you like to do a word, like to encompass your year? Have you ever done that
I
before?
have never done it. I've seen it, but I've never done it.
Okay, well, today, this year, my word is steward. The whole thing is just
I
stewarding
love
well
it.
everything God has given me. All right, we would love to hear all of your goals in the comments or any tips you have for to help us reach our goals. We'd love to hear that. And anything else?
No, I think that's great. Let's be good stewards of the things that God has given us and remember why we're doing these things. We're doing these things to become more like the God who saved us and we didn't deserve it.
Yeah, to glorify and honor God every day.
Yeah.
All right. Grab your Bibles and taste and see that the Lord is good.
Bye.